Growing up, we were taught to be respectful and responsible to others. By dictionary definition, responsibility is the state or fact of being answerable or accountable for something within one's power, control, or management. Technologies are changing the way we communicate and access and share information. As a consequence, online responsibility has become progressively important with the growth of internet connectedness. So what is online responsibility anyway? Online responsibility has various definitions specific to users, situations, and environment. A basic understanding of the concept includes being accountable for your actions in online forums. This includes being cautious of what you post, comment, or share to others. You may ask yourself, why is this an important issue to spotlight? Having respect for others online creates privacy so that harmful information that does not need to be shared isn't shared. It also creates safe environments by students understanding the risks of online use. Lastly, it encourages appropriate uses for technology, both inside and outside of classroom settings, including things like learning through online sources, collaborating with others, keeping up on current events, using innovative and creative programs to further learning. The rapidly increasing internet connectedness implies that everything we potentially do in public and sometimes in private can be recorded and later posted online.
All of this is important in the development of online identities. Every website you interact with will create an image of your identity. This is the creation of your online footprint as a result of each site you visit interpreting your characteristics differently. There are many examples of popular sites in which take on these details, as well as information in which the user willingly puts online. While maintaining privacy and professionalism, individuals should have the freedom to create an online identity. However, this pegs the question of what issues are at play. A closer look at developing online identities incorporates the social phenomenon of cyberbullying. This is the use of digital communication tools to make another person feel sad, angry, or scared. This includes instances of repeated bullying, however, is not limited to infrequent harassment. Sometimes without our knowledge or consent, social networking sites like Facebook and Twitter have negative consequences of powerlessness to control material put online. This is due to lacking face-to-face interactions with users, potentially hidden online, as well as the ability to send things from anonymous operators.
Cyberbullying happens most often between students, and it can be secretive and difficult to control since it takes place online. But the effects are still devastating. It can affect their behavior in ways such as not wanting to go to school or causing students to begin experimenting with alcohol and drugs. It can also have a negative effect on their health, making them anxious, depressed, and unhappy. It can also cause them not to sleep well. Their academic performance can also be affected, causing them to get bad grades and skip a lot of school, or in some cases, even drop out. Lastly, it affects their self-esteem. It can cause them to be anxious and less confident, feel worthless, and even become isolated.
The presence of cyberbullying in 2014 is at a startling high, with over half of young people reporting being cyberbullied. Within that, 25% of students report that they have experienced repeated bullying through cell phones or on the internet. Unfortunately, the most powerful statistic to take into consideration is that 95% of teens who witness bullying on social media have ignored the behavior. Although there's an increased push to focus on K-12 instances of online responsibility, cyberbullying is not limited to just students. One site that exemplifies this issue is Rate My Professor, in which publishes instances of students bullying instructors. The site exists to share real-life students taking classes and giving advice on professors or classes in a virtual forum. Because the site is online, they do not have to list names, and thus damaging anonymity can hurt professors. A disembodied author has a capacity of fierce hostility with virtually no backlash. Some professors with negative reviews describe the deceptive harassment as well as the stress that goes along with such a public profile.
Believe it or not, cyberbullying can also happen from teachers to students. There have been many occasions of teachers posting crude or hateful statuses about their students online. It has happened over social networking sites such as Facebook or Twitter. It is important that teachers think about the effect their posts may have on their students or even their jobs.
So what are some possible solutions to remaining safe and respectful online? A few ways to teach students online responsibility includes an understanding that posting things online is the same thing as saying things to others' faces. This helps to create safe environments that allow for reverential collaboration and communication. This will also in turn allow for students and teachers to comprehend their implications with online postings. In its entirety, we can work to safely post things to social media sites, report any instances of cyberbullying, and respect what others have to say or post.
Online responsibility has become increasingly important with the growth of online use. So, it is even more important that we recognize the challenges as well as the benefits of online use for both students and teachers. It is important that we do this because it creates more accountability when students and teachers understand the negative effects that could arise from what they say or do online. It is also important because knowing these possible negative effects can help to protect both students and teachers from the harmful effects of cyberbullying. When students and teachers are aware of negative effects and knowledgeable about appropriate uses, they are able to have more caution when it comes to online use. The internet is an important and useful tool, but it's important that we use it right.